The magazine Scientific Journal published an interesting report on the sensational discovery of a team of scientists working at the University of Cape Town in the management and interactions in human consciousness by non-human astral entities, perhaps more precisely, multidimensional. These data were confirmed by studies on the aura of the human body. Studies were classified and have made attempts to exploit this information and previously published material. The Kirlian method lets you take pictures of aura and energy fields surrounding a biological object. All this is already well known to science. In the images of the fields produced by an improved method of Kirlian, it is possible to observe the dynamics of these fields. In addition, a large number of documents confirming the dynamic field in relation to the psychophysiological state of a person. Scientific researchers from the University of Cape Town, South Africa, have many years of study of the paranormal, research on the interaction and attachment of aura. The study team led by Dr. Ngungu Tabago wants to understand the value of these fields to man. The research methods developed by the team of scientists invented a device, which was recorded by the United States Patent the United States 5,253,984 permitting the recording of aura or energy field the dynamics of biological objects. The experimental results led to the discovery that will open your eyes to the world community. Studies have not yet been completed. However, most of the findings are classified as the result of studies, and suggest a relative assessment of the behavior of people. However, some of the research results were impossible to hide. In the early stages of research to test the methods and the act, a group of many people, for whom the results of the experiments were totally impossible to hide, formed. The result of these studies have shown a direct relationship between the person and the astral entities. The paranormal investigators have tried to document these entities, ghosts, goblins and other so-called astral beings. Although some of these attempts have been very successful, mainstream science still puts the reality of these images in doubt. A team of scientists from the University of Cape Town has confirmed that it is possible through an electronic device, which has a real opportunity to obtain such images, as confirmed by the United States patent. As a result of the method Kirlian improved, you can get a clear definition of these astral objects, also explore its dynamic characteristics, such as the dynamics of the emission spectrum of the frequency, and also to study its operating range. As a result, studies of this scientific team have been tested and confirmed direct interaction with these astral beings in the human aura, revealing some of the behaviors of astral entities during this interaction. They are allowing photographs to see how the penetration of these multidimensional astral beings occurs through the aura of a person obtained. Kirlian and Seer 02 to ensure the purity of the experiment, and not to arouse suspicion, the images were performed in the laboratory, which has been transformed into a real photo studio and design studio prestige. Scientists have found that these astral fields have different and varying intensities. Initially, this was attributed to statistical fluctuations. However, more detailed studies have shown that these fluctuations are related to harmonic components of the modulated signal, and analysis showed that interact with bioelectromagnetic activities of the human brain and may influence it. Scientists were able to resolve issues of concern, such as the aforementioned penetration of astral entities in the human aura and its influences. In the early stages of the penetration, no synchronization of internal rhythms with the rhythms of the astral plane victims, entities have a modus operandi to access the aura of the victim, changing the internal rhythms, or aura frequencies. After the interaction of the astral plane, the entity enters the victim and influences it altogether. As a result of research carried out in collaboration with psychologists and psychoanalysts, shows a clear relationship between these fluctuations and psychophysiological reaction of the people who participated in the experiments. Despite the fact that most of the study results was classified, the information obtained in the early stages of research, leading to certain conclusions. Astral or multidimensional entities can be classified into two types, entity black and pure entity. The difference between these two entities is the intensity of luminescence, the spectral composition of the emission and dynamic characteristics. In fact, these people act differently. The nature of the entity black has the distinction of trying to penetrate the human aura, while the pure entity generally does not show that invasive activity, therefore seeks relationship between psychophysiological state of the person and the activity of the entity black trying to fight them. I must say that the interactions between entities are quite different. By observations, black entities show an unjustified aggression and a negative influence on humans. Experiments have shown that there is a constant influence of such entities in a large number of people. A series of medical and physiological tests show that the reactions of the people involved in the experiments, in some situations created especially, allows us to study the stability of the psychophysiological. It has been shown that there is a relationship between the psychophysiological state of a person and the purity of his aura, his willingness to infiltration. In order to confirm the results, conducted by statistical studies of large groups of people, composed of representatives of the various categories, ranging from prisoners held in prisons, entrepreneurs and politicians gathered to discuss various issues. To ensure the purity of the experiment, the subjects were in the dark, and investigators posing as journalists, to have interviews. Studies have also been conducted at the Johannesburg Summit in 2002. The conclusion was surprising. Virtually all businessmen and politicians in the Johannesburg Summit had been infected astral entities. These results have surprised scientists. They found that the highest number of black in part or in whole entities have penetrated the energy aura of politicians and businessmen, whose number is many times greater than the number of detainees who have been infected positive entities. Most of the astral infections had taken place in many politicians around the world, and is likely to secret knowledges and powerful people. Therefore, as a result of statistical studies, it was confirmed that the results of scientists shows that a large number of people are exposed continuously to interactions and infiltration by black entity entering the host, accessing mind control and behavior. Very often, these records or infiltrations observed in politicians and businessmen are produced mainly in the fact that like attracts like, and pure thoughts and feelings, love of neighbor can be the best protection against the penetration of astral entities black.